we get to vamp today.
Woohoo!
Whee!
Good morning. Welcome to our mess.
That was so unenthusiastic, Liz.
Yeah, it's morning.
That's just life right now, right? Hello and welcome to the Sun Dragon Sideshow.
The Dear Becky and Lizzie Adventures of Liz and Rebecca edition.
With no Liz and Rebecca.
Becky
And Lizzie. Goes without saying, I'm tired. You actually can't see half the mess here, like that's piled around the edges. I posted on social media. Okay, hang on. Let me take a step back. Hello, I'm Rebecca. I'm the owner of Sun Dragon Art and Fiber in sunny and maybe thunderstorming close to late afternoon, Brevard, North Carolina.
I'm Liz. I'm the minion there.
So, I posted on social media that we often jokingly call our customers Vikings because they come and pillage the shop and lay waste, and then we clean up later. And I posted the pictures of what it really looks like on this table. It's just like some of this is from filming yesterday, right? And then
the video does not do it justice.
This here, you mean?
Yeah.
Right now, yeah. It doesn't. Chaos, absolute chaos. And someone posted on my post, they said, I like that your shop, something like, I like that your shop is not like stark and too clean. It's like, this is welcoming. And I'm like, that's lovely, but I still just see mess. So this is the drawing I did for the Vikings. So I'm wearing my Viking hair today. I honestly just want to try out a different hairstyle, but I'm wearing my Viking hair today in honor of the pillaging that has been happening the past couple of days.
Please note, we are not Vikings. We are the poor peasants that have to deal with the Vikings.
We are the villages that have been pillaged. But I take some solace in Viking Strong on Instagram all the time. What?
Tuesday we had raiding parties from all over, not just local. We had people from Ohio and people from California
and was it Wyoming?
And yeah,
like friends from these various places like coming in together. And yeah, it was exciting. Wow. Yeah. So we have hot messes to maybe put away, but I was like, let's put them on camera, and then you don't get a good angle, but trust me, it's here. Can't see the table. Have to clean up the table before our visiting indie dyer on Saturday. So we have a couple days. Like today's the last day we film this week. And then we'll have a couple of mornings to try to straighten up and clean up if we can. So that'll be fun.
Yep.
Did this come off of this? No, okay. Sorry. I squirreled. I picked a stitch marker up off the floor yesterday, and I was wondering if it like my stitches had come off of my brioche, but no. All right. So we don't have any Dear Becky and Lizzie questions, so we can talk about whatever we want. And some of that I think is going to be more about our anniversary month and things. I don't think we mentioned on Tuesday that we are taking a week off at the beginning of September. The first full week of September. We want to get you all primed for that. We are taking a full week off, which from the shop is like in terms of actual days is almost a week and a half, because we're closed on Sundays and Mondays. So it is September. Is it 6th through the 12th?
I'll find the
first
calendar.
Full week of September. I think September 3rd is a Saturday, 4th. So starting on the 4th and 5th, we would be closed anyway.
Yep.
And then that week, we will not be here. We will not be filming. I'm sorry, y'all, but we need rest.
And then we'll open back up on the 13th.
Today I'm feeling it. Let me tell you. Yes, because the 11th and 12th is again a Sunday, Monday, right? Mm-hmm. So like the 3rd is our last day here in the shop until the 13th. Mm-hmm. That is a nice, good, just about 10 days. And that means not filming, no morning meditations, if I'm really being honest. I bet I might post once in a while on Instagram just how my break is going and what I'm working on, but not the filming and editing. And that's going to feel so weird for me. We're going to probably do kind of a staycation type thing, which means getting as much rest as possible. So be ready for that. Survive without us. It's basically like Labor Day weekend and then that week, because Labor Day is the Monday of that week. So in theory, Labor Day was a holiday so people who labor could take some time off, right? And we're going to do that. There's a chance we'll have some kind of online sale, but we haven't decided yet. Just know that we will not be keeping you company that week unless you go back and watch old episodes, which is always an option.
Yes.
So that's one thing I wanted to definitely make clear. And with the Indie Dyer's coming this Saturday, Fiber Fairy is coming this Saturday if you're local. So come see her 11 to 4. And the fiber, like that she has, the phone just distracted me. She has hand-dyed yarn and roving that you can spin your own yarn for, like Liz's hair. You know, you could make something fun with it. So, and we always do the thing where if you buy full price from our visiting artist, you can get 20% off Sun Dragon merchandise that day. So, plan ahead and stock up. Speaking of, I kind of want to wait till the message thing finishes before we do this, because I was thinking about also trying to film for social media. We're going to spin. I got to push. Oh, they're not even going to wait for the message. This is I finished the wheel. I haven't finished the discounts online, but I think I can finish them before we post this video or the social media video. This is our wheel of discounts. Isn't this cute? Ta-da! And this little mark tells us where it's at. I'm gonna try. This is gonna be so awkward. But
well, here.
What? Do you want me to film you spinning it?
This way everybody can see it. Let me find my start button.
No, wait, but we not everybody can see it because the microphone. No show notes, people. We're trying this. It's what's at the top that matters. And I'm gonna start this.
Which way do you want me to spin it?
I don't care. But hang on, don't spin it yet because this isn't going yet. Hi everybody, and I might be able to edit this down. We'll see. So here's Liz, and here's our spinny wheel of discounts. And for our 5-year anniversary, we're doing this every few days or so, or maybe once a week. We're about to spin it to see what discount you can get online, both in the shop and in the online shop for Thursday and Friday, August, what's today? The 4th? 4th and 5th. Okay, go ahead, Liz. All have 5s on them because it's our 25%. Oh, we got a big one on our first try. 25% is gonna be the discount. I'm gonna make a code that I'm hoping works, but I will put in the description for both of these what will work. But I'm hoping it is 5, the number 5-year 25 with the percent sign. Okay. Check the description for social media in terms of what it actually will be, what will actually work, if that symbol will work at the end. Okay, bye. Okay, we filmed for that.
Okay.
That's your own little behind the scenes for what we do for social media and other things. So, but guess what? With the YouTube verse out there, 25% off today and tomorrow. I'm going to try to get this video up as soon as I can. I have an intro knitting. I'm going to move this guy back just to here. I have an intro knitting lesson today, so I'm going to have to do it around the edges. And she was so patient. She was absolutely so patient on Tuesday as all these people came up and wandered through and were like, you know, just interrupting the lesson. And we had so many people in the shop and I had to abandon her and come in and help Liz because so many people. But this morning, our minionette Carol should be here. Mm-hmm. So maybe I can multitask on things other than the hordes in the shop. We might not have hordes in the shop. Like yesterday, it felt like we weren't going to have hordes in the shop.
Yesterday seemed rather slow compared
to Tuesday,
but
right?
final totals were like,
We're decent.
Yeah.
Not, I mean, I don't think anything can beat Tuesday for like right now. But they were decent. Yeah, and some of y'all bought some stuff from our sale we posted yesterday, the 15% off on the bags. Now is your time if you wanted to get those bags and you haven't yet at the 15 to use that 25% off, because only one code per purchase, right? Because some of this stuff we only got 2 of. So when it's gone, for right now, it's gone. Some of them I can reorder. I don't know when they'll come back in. Some of them weren't available.
We only
anyway.
have 1 gnomes left.
Oh my gosh, they're so cute too. I will
So,
totally reorder that if I
like,
can, but yeah.
with any Wednesday filming, if we don't have another sale,
Mhm.
if there is something that you see on Wednesdays,
You should get it.
you should get it.
And we're advertising the sale right now, but that's only on what's in stock when you go to the shop and try to buy it with the sale price. It's if stuff is out of stock, I'm sorry. That means people were ready with their computers and clicking and stuff, and all of that's weird to me. But you know that, yeah. We try to stock what we can for a small, even though it looks big, small local yarn store, and that means we can't have massive amounts of things. We'll try to bring them back in, but the rock flower paper bags, which are adorable, some things are already out of stock and we can't get them again, and some things will bring back in new things. Hopefully we have a shipment coming in today, which means we can't film, but I'll try to put it up on social media if I can, of like 1 or 2 more itsy bitsy bags and 1 or 2 more of the pouches with the zippers. Different styles should be coming in today, because they were new releases that they said they shipped to us like a day or 2 after the first batch. I don't know, but it seems to be relatively popular. Like we've already sold some last night, which is great, which means if y'all like these products, I'll keep bringing them in. I'll place another order, which will be wonderful. So yes, this is not usually a day that has a lot of shop talk in it, but when we're left to our own devices, sometimes that means there's shop talk. For the brioche knit along that we're doing, we had a few kits sell in the past few days. If we have enough stock to reissue those, I will try to relist them. But you'd be surprised how much doesn't get done because there's just so much to do. And it's all part of keeping the business going, right? It's all part of, but this is the staff of Sun Dragon right here. And and we each have
all the different departments that we have.
I know we each have a list about this long of things we need to get to. And so of course it makes sense that the thing that you're interested in should be at the top of the list, and we try. But if enough people walk in the door, like, customers in the shop are our priority during business hours and after business hours. Like this week, I've been trying to do a few things at home on the computer after business hours, and I can feel it. I'm tired. Like I feel really out of sorts today. And I think it's because I'm trying to do work after work, which when I was a teacher, that's how you survive life. But I'm learning as I get older, there's different ways to survive. Like surviving the job is different than surviving life. So
we had a customer yesterday who asked, did we come in at 4:30 every day to get stuff done? And it's like
we should, but no.
My response was, I wouldn't work here if I had to come in at 4:30.
And the should being the operative word there is a shame word, and doesn't mean that's necessary, but might help us get more stuff done, but we'd also fall apart. Absolutely. So there was something else I was going to talk about and I can't remember now. So how is your blanket coming? As I think about what you got to the next repeat of stuff.
First stripe is now.
I like how you're alternating, and again on Tuesday, and she mentioned that, I didn't know it was happening until she mentioned it, that we've got dark with light in the middle, and then we've got light with dark in the middle whenever you're doing little zigzaggy like highlight, right?
Yeah, the first one I did, I was like, oh, I'll throw the plum imps in there, and then I was like, okay, the plum imps in the gray, that looks cool. but kind of like the plum imps and the spice plum fade into each other a little bit.
So it's fun to have them separated. by
So
the bit,
then I
too.
was like, ooh, let me try the next stripe. And then I was like, now I've got to alternate stripes because
Now that I've done both.
now that I've
I
done
mean,
both.
you hear me out. You're not going to do it because you've already done your thing. That's fine. You could have just the dark with the light in the center be only on the edges.
I could.
You didn't have to alternate, but she's already started to alternate. And that's, that's the beauty of crochet and other things, is that like you can make stuff up and adapt things and change things. And like I adapted the end of my shawl here, and we had a customer come in looking for yarn, and they said that's neat what you did with the smaller stripes, but they felt like the log cabin effect was lost in doing that. And I'm like, well, then you just have to get more yarn. So you can either adapt and do something different. You can Carolize, as we like to call it in the shop, in honor of Carol, who changes just about every pattern she meets, or you have to do other things.
Part of the like, there are different reasons for adapting. Part of the reason you went to shorter stripes was so you didn't have to go through more than 7 balls.
Yes.
And
I had to be creative because it wasn't making it through full thick stripes anymore.
And some people are okay with like, I'll just get another ball of yarn and, continue on.
There's adapting due to necessity, and there's adapting because it's fun.
Or I'll try something out and then just.
Oh, and we should mention on the pattern you're doing, it's not a pattern you can get on Ravelry. Like you said, what did you say you did?
It's just a chart off of Pinterest. It's a V-stitch chevron.
Okay. And so it's knowing what to look for. I don't think I shared the link to the Pinterest thing because I just said look for it on your own. Yeah. So but that's really cool what you're doing, because you had people come in and ask yesterday.
Yeah.
So
it's just somebody said on my walk to the car, a lady, I think we've walked past her a couple of times, but she was like, oh, what are you working on now? And as we're walking, she's looking in my basket at my project, and she goes, that looks like a snowflake stitch. I'm like, it's just a V-stitch chevron. Like,
and it should be mentioned that lots of different people have different names for different things. So
yeah,
there's a lot that's standardized in these crafts, and there's a lot that's not, and there's a lot that's standardized that people don't pay attention to. And there's a lot that people are like, oh, it's this, and for them it is.
Well, like even in knitting, Old Norwegian and German twisted
cast on
are the same cast on. Just depends on. It's like steak. A New York strip is the same as a Kansas City strip. New York stole it. So
this is not the first time you brought that up to me, which means this is a sticking point for you. This is important to Liz. So we mention it.
It kind of, like with all the different, the sunburst granny square that you're doing for your thing.
Yes, and I don't call it that because I'm just following a pattern. But you found it.
I found
as
a
that
chart for it, and in the pom pom, it's all written out, and there are just a couple of differences between the chart I found and the written out.
The pom pom, they don't give it a fancy name, but it is known in other places under a fancy name.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
There's just like, you reach a point in knitting and crochet that there's really nothing new, so everybody just kind of rebrands it as their own, like, which is
both fun and frustrating.
Yeah. Like the Papillon has the short row bubbles that are all written out, and there's another shawl that has short written bubbles, or the short row bubbles that are all charted. Yeah, different
ways to understand
different
it.
ways
Absolutely.
to understand,
and different brains process things in different ways. So so I thought I did a little bit more work on look, it's got a big huge split now. I was really getting going on this, and then I took a break because I didn't want to put it back in morning meditation just yet. And someone was like, so do you have to sew it together again? No, this is the split. If we hold it this direction, it might make a little more, not really. It's going to make more sense as it finishes because this diagonal here is going to keep decreasing. It's going to end up with the point in the front here. And I was also thinking about the post we saw on the knit along group of someone saying my brioche is slanting, and I'm hoping that comes out with blocking. And I'm wondering if it was further, like she wasn't as far in her work as I am, but I'm wondering if it's the way it was stretched around her needle, like to get ready to knit, it was just pulling some stitches over this way while the rest was over that way, because it was like a 45-degree angle, and I'm like, huh, because unless something's going really off, like this, if I put it on the ground at the right angle, like I put on the table or something, could look a little slanted, but when I hold it, it's pretty straight up and down. It's actually like, that's the crazy thing about brioche ribbing. Like if I put this all squished up on the needle, it looks white. And you see that stripe in the middle? That's probably where this color has some light gray. Makes it look like I'm looking on there and go, what? And then if you pull it apart, you see the other multicolor in there. And it actually tones down the other direction when I flip this inside out.
There's the stripe.
There's the stripe, right? And you can see it. And this looks a little bit toned down because of the white in the background. But I just love brioche. I think it's so fun. So I'm getting closer to being done with this. And the fingering weight is definitely going to be more delicate than this one, than the bulky. But I'm getting ready to teach my first class. I'm pretty sure the first class on August 6th, this Saturday, and then the 20th is full again. But we have a second section. It's really for people who can get here by driving. I don't have capacity or energy because it's very draining and challenging to do online classes. But I'm making videos of some of these parts. So it's not the same as coming to an in-person class, but as I publish these videos, you get at least bits and pieces of what goes into making this. You need to buy the pattern. None of this works without the pattern. It's not intended to replace the pattern, but I do love this. So again, we have a second session on August 13th and 27th. There's plenty of space in that section if you would like to learn how to do this. Oh, it's so much fun. So that's that. I feel like there's a lot of shopkeeping again today. But
I want to do another brioche thing, but I just don't like cowls. So
you don't have to do the cowl.
No,
I find, okay, so
I just haven't found a brioche thing I want to do.
you don't want to make the rebel shawl? Is big and fingering weight and brioche. You should hunt on Ravelry.
If I did the rebel, it would not be fingering weight, or it wouldn't be fingering weight on itty bitty needles. It would be like worsted weight on a big needle.
Yeah,
but
and then it would be huge, but that would be a Liz size shawl. But
yes.
Even on a DK, I think it would look really pretty. It's going to be huge though. It's going to take a lot
fiber
of
space.
Anyway, no, I'm doing the cowl right now because I think it's a really great way to learn brioche. I've said it a million times. We've got the in the round, and then right now I've got the flat part where every time when the yarns are together, as they are here, it's time to turn around and do the next row. If yarns are on opposite sides, it means I have to go back and do the second pass. And when it's on, we have someone walking up to the shop right now. There's 15 minutes till it opens. If the door is locked, they're gonna wait. Or at least a little bit. So the neat thing about being on 16-inch needles like this is you don't have to push it back really far to do your second pass. So you just kind of move it a little and start again, and then you turn it around. So right now I'm about to start a row of the inside in here instead of going around the outside. That might sound weird, but I'll make some videos on that later. I released a second video for this one last night, and I'm tired. I filmed for 3 videos on Monday, and I would like to release the third one tonight, but it really depends. It might take me a little while to get it done. I got to see what my energy levels are going home tonight, because my energy levels right now are not good. So I had my coffee, but not good. I
It's
hope they
the
get better.
Wednesday and Thursday.
It's true. It's always every Wednesday, Thursday. I'm like, am I getting sick? And then I realize it's the middle of the week. It's tiring. So, it's all good. I worked on this just for a hair last night. I haven't worked on this guy. I've been chatting with a lady about maybe getting a kit for this. And we'll see. It may not happen. That's okay. Like pulling together colors. There's no established kit online for this. This is the Rain or Shine shawl by Stephen West, and it looks really dark on camera right now, but I'm using these 5 colors of mohair. Every once in a while I look at them. Oh no, where'd it go? Okay, these 5 colors of mohair, but you're always using 2 colors at a time. And there's times I look at this and I'm like, okay, I almost want to change up, but like I'm trying to follow the pattern for people here in the shop to see how it'll turn up. At some point I may decide to change how they're overlapping, because there's like I'm using these 2 colors right now, and these 2 colors have overlapped, but these 2 colors never do. And these 2 colors never do. Like there's parts when I'm like, but what if I did this? And that would mean carolizing the pattern. Maybe for the second half of it, I'll change up the order that the mohair goes in. Right now, I'm trying to keep the order established and repetitive, because that's what Stephen West does. But that doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. So I struggle with that a lot, because I feel like when I change things, I have to remember how I changed them so I can tell customers how I changed them. And I'm not going to remember. I could write it down. I hear y'all out there saying, just write it down. I'm going to have a book this thick and look up the pattern by name. And I'm not that organized. So, you know.
And then people ask me when you're in a lesson, hey, what did Rebecca do here? Did she make it longer?
That's why I need to make a book, so that you can look it up. And then, yeah.
I know she told me. I was there, but.
Well, and it's like, I tell, what was I? I'm losing my train of thought today. It's so bad. I tell people who contact me and say, hey, this is a really great pattern. You should offer it in your shop. If someone's looking for a neat pattern for X, Y, or Z, show them this one. And I will if I remember, but I also struggle with recommending patterns like off of customer recommendations. That's always good. I'm going to recommend ones I've worked on first before ones I haven't worked on, even if a customer's worked on them. And I'm going to try to be clear with new customers that, you know, I've heard this one goes well. Haven't done it myself. And it's another reason why I don't do classes on things I haven't tried out first. So I know the pros and cons and the goods and bads, and I can give it my estimation of what goes into it. That's always subjective on a certain level too. So, you know.
Well, I was talking to a customer. We were looking up a pattern, and she was like, does it have just regular picked up stitches around the armholes? Because it was for a vest.
Oh, looking
or
at a pattern
does
online?
it do something else? And I was like, I can't tell until we buy it.
Yeah.
And she was like, I just did a pattern that it was like an applied edge
and
that's armholes.
Some people love that, and some people
And-
it's like, no.
Yeah, she was older. And I was like, a lot has like
shifted
in
terms of
what's popular, but also like what used to be a universal thought of how you did stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Younger ideas are coming. Like, it's like, ooh, this would be a fantastic way to change it up.
Yes. So rather than this is how it's done,
yeah,
you have a lot of people saying, hey, this sounds really cool. This worked for me. Or like, there's a lot of variety in yarns in the knitting world now and crochet world. There's a lot of variety in how to do things. It's very much not just because it's always been done this way. Yep. This is the way it will continue to be done.
And some pattern writers stick with some of the more traditional stuff. Like I told one lady, I'm like, there are some pattern writers I don't do because I don't like their way of pattern writing.
And you only learn that by trying out different pattern writers and how they do things. And some people have very clearly written patterns and they're very well done. but they may not be the style that some people's brains like to do.
Yeah.
So, it's very hit or miss, or, there's such a wide variety out there. Like I
Kind
said.
of, you gotta just try it.
Yeah. I think we're gonna actually wrap up because I have a lesson coming, and apparently we have someone waiting. I know who it is. We have someone waiting outside. And we may not get out to her for like about another 5 minutes or so, but there's the hot mess in here. There's the sale things we want to get up for you all. I will try to get this video up as soon as I can. But from here on out, if you see this video and it's like Thursday afternoon, and we'll have Thursday and Friday on the sale, check social media. I'll probably have it up on social media faster, because YouTube, I get stuck in checks are taking longer than usual. Like, I'm ready to have it live to y'all, and YouTube is overthinking if this is appropriate content for everybody. It's like there's someone somewhere watching the whole thing before they release it.
Did we play music in the background?
Is there something that sounds like, is there something that sounds like something copyrighted? I don't even know.
Yeah.
So sometimes that takes hours, even though this is probably a 40-minute video right now. I don't know. Anyway, if you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. We're over 1,150 subscribers. It's so fun to watch those numbers go up. Like, subscribe, ring the bell. I'm
all
trying
the
to
fun
remember
stuff.
all the fun stuff.
Comment.
Patreon.com/sundragon is still the best way if you'd like to monetarily support us. I think you can give us what's called a super thanks at this point here. It's kind of like giving us a little tip. If you feel like an episode was really fun, or you just are like, yay, I want to just slide you a little cash, you can do that. Super thanks now, apparently. Anything that supports the shop, the non-monetary stuff supports the shop too. It exposes us to a wider audience if you like it and comment on it or subscribe, that kind of stuff. So, anyway, what else?
Sit and stitch tomorrow night.
Oh, yes. 7 to 9 p.m. virtual sit and stitch. Get into Zoom with the shop phone number
828-877-3550.
If you have something you want us to talk about on Thursdays instead of just meandering through whatever we feel like, then you can write, but you should email
Liz at sundragonartandfiber.com.
The shop's address, if you want to send us a letter, is 35 South Broad Street, Brevard, North Carolina, 28712. So we will see y'all. The next Sunday sit and stitch virtual is not until the 14th. So it's not this Sunday. It's a week from this Sunday, which feels like it's coming up fast. So,
everything is just snowballing.
Everything's coming up fast. We will see y'all next week, if not before. All right. Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, there's so much stuff on my feet here.